What's that one video I make about something that technically doesn't exist unless you help it? Roll for Crit preview videos about crowdfunding games, and this one is no exception. What's That One is a party game in which you and your fellow friends are going to try to guess actors, movies, TV shows on cards based on some not so great clues. Maybe someone will be able to connect the dots early on and make a miraculous guess. Or no one's going to get it, but at the very least, you can reveal the card and all laugh at how silly those clues are. Either way, let's take a look at the game and see if this is a game for you to back. Each card in What's That One has a category, as well as clues to try to get people to guess the correct answer on the bottom. Now, these categories can be shuffled together or removed and only use the ones you want. They tend to be broken up into games, either board or video, music, band or individual artists, movies or actors and characters in movies, or TV shows, characters or actors in TV shows. Now, whichever one you like, it doesn't matter. I personally like to shuffle everything together, but you can choose whichever categories you want. A game is played in which one person will draw a card, and then they will roll this die. This die can have A, B, or C, or as I rolled, any. If it's any, you get to choose, but if it was a specific letter, you have to read that clue out. Remember, you're not showing off the card until someone guesses correctly or no one is able to guess it. So in this case, I would read, what's that one movie where a high school kid tries to get his parents to make out?
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
Now from here, depending on the mode you're playing, people are going to try to guess. There are two modes. There's party mode, in which people are just going trying to race and be the first one to guess it. If they guess correctly, they gain the card. However, they only get one guess, so if they're wrong, they're out for that round. Every 30 seconds or so, the clue giver will read one of the 4 clues on the bottom, slowly making it easier for people to guess what the card is. If you're playing the team mode, you will split up into teams with each team consisting of 2 or more players, in which the clue giver is on a team giving the clues to their own team. If someone is able to guess it right off the first bad clue, they are going to get 5 points. However, they can request one of the 4 clues below. For each clue they give, though, it is worth 1 less point, all the way down to 1 if you say all 4 clues. Now, at any moment, be it if they said all the clues or even in the beginning when it was worth 5, they guess and they're wrong, starting clockwise from that team, each other team may make a crack at trying to guess what the card is without asking for any more clues. If they get it right, they get 1 point regardless of the number of clues given for that card. You will move on to the next either person in party mode or team in team play mode until either A, someone in the party mode has gotten 5 cards, or B, in the team mode, a team has gotten 21 points. Whoever is able to reach one of these win conditions is the winner, or at the very least able to understand these clues enough to guess what is possibly going on. So as you can see, this was a trivia party game with many different groups. Most of them pretty pop culture-y, even the, let's say, more in-depth nerdy ones of the video game and board game, I think, aren't too obscure or strange. But regardless, you could remove any topic you want if someone wasn't either a big board game buff or movie buff, though I feel like movies are probably the biggest chunk in there. I didn't count. And just go with it from there. It was pretty funny to go through all of these. I think even for me, who's not pretty good when it comes especially to like actors and movies and such, the names of people, I think there are only maybe like 3 or 4 cards that I personally didn't know even after being revealed. You are going to have moments where you're like, well, how does that work? But I think that's part of the fun of it. These clues are meant to be a bit misleading. I know for me personally, one of the ones we laughed about was for a video game. It said when your inventory fills up, in which we're all like, so every game? But that's going to be a lot of the fun of it. There are also more direct clues you can give, which I think are very useful, but you lose some points. And it still has that steal factor, so you can feel really good when you hear a clue and you're like, oh, I know what it is. Come on, make a bad guess so I can get it. But it doesn't give too many points, so it doesn't feel like you're just winning the game in 4 turns because you got 5 points every time. It gives everyone else enough time to try and win and therefore, actually participate, feel good. And not just that because you missed one that you lost the game. That's more the gaming fact, but most of the time, I don't think people are counting points too much. It was just sort of fun to think and guess some of these hilarious, really worded clues. That is where this game is going to shine. Now, as of this recording, I haven't seen the full Kickstarter, but I played with topics of, I would say, movies, TV shows, video games, board games were technically combined into one, so games, I guess. There were characters, which would be like either from movies or TV shows, and then music, which could either be a specific person or a band. I can imagine them adding stretch goals, which should have new topics, or even just increase the size of them, as there are plenty of movies out there alone that I'm sure, let alone any of the other topics. Even if they don't add any new categories here, I do feel like they still do a very good job at covering multiple different ones. So it's not like just for movie buffs or music lovers. You're going to have a variety there, so everyone feels like they should have a decent chance. Well, especially considering the bad clues, that could actually hurt the person who's more of a buff, as they don't remember it in the exact way that they word the clue. This was one that I think will do really well for people who like the idea of the trivia nights at maybe their local pub or restaurant, as this simulates that pretty well in a way that is meant to be a bit more silly, not just random facts. Regardless, it will be that kind of game that makes a lot of people laugh because the clues are so silly, or a lot of people will be really impressed when someone reads the bad clue and a person gets it right on the spot. It had plenty of those moments, so definitely a cool, fun party game to check out. And of course, see what else they're going to have to offer as the campaign progresses. I'll have a link to the project down below for you to check out and see if it's worth your money to back. Hopefully, I showed off enough here for you to know the answer to that question. If not, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Or of course, you can comment on the page itself. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer any of your questions. But for now, thank you so much for watching this preview, whether you're watching on my channel or on the page. I appreciate it and love to hear your thoughts on this game. But for now, I'm Will, and this has been a Roll for Crit preview.